I got started in the music very late in life, so I played catch up quite a bit. And very long story short, I spent a lot of my childhood in and out of the foster care system. So we moved around a lot and didn't have access to a lot of music. But it wasn't until I was in high school that a prisoner visited my school, and he performed, and he called what he was playing country music. And I thought, man, that's what I want to do. I want to do that because his story that he shared, I felt like I related to it. And then he played a song. And of course, I called the warden of the prison. I said, I've got to come over and visit this prisoner. And he's like, well, we don't let people in, we put people in. And I was like, well, you got to let me in, and I got to sit down with him and learn. And he finally let me come in, and I was there every week learning something from this guy. He ended up getting out of prison and didn't hear from him for a very long time, and I ended up pursuing my dream, playing some music. Got to Nashville and got a record deal, etc. About 3 years ago, I was standing at my kitchen sink. It was around Christmas time, and I was listening to country Christmas songs. And I thought, with all due respect, I'm like, why don't we record new Christmas songs instead of remaking the same songs that were already recorded by great singers way before us. And there's too many of them out there. Like that song that prisoner sung in my school 20-something years ago. It was a Christmas song he sung. And I thought, well, I wonder what he's doing right now. I went online, and I just typed in his name, and his name showed up along with like 500 other names, the same name, and I'm like, I'm never going to find this guy. The first number I called was him, and
As the Lord.
it was the first one, and I said, Jody, this is Jimmy. You remember me as the kid that used to come to the prison and sit on the mid-yard with you, and you'd play guitar and you'd sing songs, and you'd sing these Randy Travis songs, and wow, it was just, and he's like, I totally know who you are, and what are you doing? We got to talking, and I said, whatever happened to you when you got out of prison? He said, well, I went to Nashville, I got signed, publishing deal with Sony, ended up getting signed to Solemn Records, but I lost my deal with like 2 months because they gave me a bonus, and I took the money and bought some drugs and lost everything.
My goodness.
Went back to prison, spent 6 more years in the big house. And while I was in my prison cell, I'd lay there on that bed listening to my music, and I'd hear you come on the radio. I said, well, what are you doing? What are you doing this December 22nd? It's your dream to play the Grand Ole Opry. He said, man, I've wanted to play the Opry my whole life, and that would be a dream come true. I said, well, why don't you come to Nashville and perform that Christmas song that you performed in my high school 20-something years ago? So he drove out here to Nashville, and I hadn't seen him in all those years, and Bill, you were introducing us that night, and I'll never forget it. I got a chance to not only, I got a chance to have a hero, so to speak, and then give back to my hero. Mm-hmm. And I brought him out on stage that night, and you introduced him. I introduced him, but you come out and you say, Jody, come back out here. They're still standing. And he walked back out on stage, and they were still applauding for him. And that was such an amazing moment in my music career. But folks, I just want to say thanks to every one of you. I've listened to all your music, everybody here. So you all inspire me. This song I wrote was on my first album. And thank you, Mark. He can't remember the times that he thought, does my daddy love me? Probably not. That didn't stop him wishing that he did. Didn't keep him from wanting or worshiping him.
guesses he saw him about once a year. He can still feel the way he felt, standing in tears, stretching his arms out as far as they go, and whispering, "Dad, I want you to know I love you this much. I'm waiting on you to make up your mind. Do you love me too? However long it takes, I'm never giving up, no matter what. I love you this much." To hate him for what he had done. What kind of father would do that to his son? He said, "Damn you, Daddy," the day that he died. The man didn't blink, but the little boy cried, "I love you this much. I'm waiting on you to make up your mind. Do you love me too? However long it takes, I'm never giving up, no matter what. I love you this much." Halfway through the service, while the choir sang a hymn, he looked up above the preacher and he sat and stared at him. And he said, "Forgive me, Father," when he realized he hadn't been unloved or alone all his life. His arms were stretched out as far as they'd go, nailed to the cross for the whole world to know. I love you this much. I'm waiting on you to make up your mind. Do you love me too? However long it takes, I'm never giving up, no matter what. I love you this much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank y'all so much.
Jimmy Wayne.
Thank you, Bill.
Beautiful, Jimmy.